Welcome to Pilot Mind Flow. PMF will make you feel less overwhelmed, less anxious, more fluent, calm, happier, and safer. Takeoff is a critical phase of flight, and a few key tasks can mean the difference between a safe rejected takeoff and one that ends in disaster. There are a lot of tasks to cover in this Pilot Mind Flow, so let's get started. Hopefully by now you've done your before takeoff checklist, runways confirmed, and your aircraft is configured correctly with flaps, trim, carb heat off, mixture, fuel pump if required, and so on, so that now you can focus on safely executing the takeoff. Also be mindful that we're not going to cover many of the tasks that might be applicable to your specific aircraft. But by all means, add those tasks into your specific mind flow when applicable. Pre-takeoff engine out briefing. It's a good idea to get in the habit of reviewing what you will do if you lose an engine right after takeoff to avoid trying to make the so-called impossible turn. A few years ago, my airplane started to shake right as I was rotating. With the nose wheel already off the ground, I pulled the throttle back to abort the takeoff, and the engine quit completely. Luckily, I had plenty of runway remaining, so from there it was just a matter of stopping and coordinating with the tower. I know it wasn't right after takeoff, but it was really close, and the point is, as unlikely as a takeoff emergency may seem, as a pilot in command, it's your responsibility to always be mentally ready to handle one. Winds. If you have a crosswind, apply full aileron into the wind and gradually decrease the deflection as your airspeed increases. Be ready to crab shortly after your wheels leave the ground to avoid drifting too much. Brakes. Make sure your feet and passengers' feet are off the brakes. Believe it or not, there have been fatal accidents where unintended brake pressure during takeoff prevented the aircraft from accelerating properly. Full throttle and stay on the runway centerline. Now we do some checks to make sure the engine is indeed producing the power we would expect to accelerate to rotation speed before the runway runs out and for a safe rate of climb. Ask yourself, does the engine sound normal? Is RPM normal? RPM is a rough indication of engine power. If RPM is abnormal, something is abnormal. Bad plug, bad magneto, fuel or air obstruction, valve issues, etc. Is acceleration normal? This requires knowing your particular aircraft and staying mindful. Check oil pressure. Airspeed alive. Be mindful of your predetermined abort point. A good rule of thumb is the 50-70 rule. At 50% of the runway length, achieve at least 70% of VR. VR, rotate. Positive rate of climb. Tap the brakes, gear up. Crab into the wind. Look for traffic and birds. Someone from my club hit a goose once, which caused quite a bit of damage. Even though it was actually while landing, bird strikes are a real hazard we should be mindful of. Trim for VY. Let's build your PMF. Nice and slow at first. Imagine you taxi onto the runway. Ailerons, into the wind. Feet, off the brakes. Throttle, full. Runway centerline. Does the engine sound normal? Is RPM normal? Does acceleration feel normal? Oil pressure. Airspeed alive. Abort point. VR, rotate. Positive rate of climb. Tap the brakes, gear up. Crab to minimize drifting. Traffic and birds. Trim for VY. As you can see by now, there are a lot of tasks to complete. So having a good mind flow will give you more confidence and keep you flying safer. This requires imagining the mind flow and a lot of repetition. With PMF practice, all of these tasks become second nature and take very little time to complete. Once you become fluent, you'll notice you actually have plenty of time to complete all of these tasks quickly and mindfully for every phase of flight. Depending on your fluency, use the links in the description to skip to the different sections of the video. Let's get fluent. Imagine you taxi under the runway. Ailerons, into the wind. Feet off the brakes. Throttle full and centerline. Does the engine sound normal? RPM and acceleration normal? Oil pressure. Airspeed alive. Abort point. VR. Rotate. Positive rate of climb. Tap the brakes, gear up. Crab. Traffic and birds. Trim for VY. Let's do it again. Mindful repetition is key. Imagine you taxi under the runway. Ailerons, into the wind. Feet off the brakes. Throttle full and centerline. Does the engine sound normal? RPM and acceleration normal? Oil pressure. Airspeed alive. Abort point. VR. Rotate. Positive rate of climb. Tap the brakes, gear up. Crab. Traffic and birds. Trim for VY. One last time. Imagine you taxi under the runway. Ailerons, into the wind. Feet off the brakes. Throttle full and centerline. Does the engine sound normal? RPM and acceleration normal? Oil pressure. Airspeed alive. Abort point. VR. Rotate. Positive rate of climb. Tap the brakes, gear up. Crab. Traffic and birds. Trim for VY. Play this video as many times as you need to until you become fluent. Subscribe and be sure to check back with the channel, as I will be posting a lot more PMF videos soon.